Viewer discretion advised.
Night falls, and just beyond the light of our watchfires, the undead gather at the gates. Hello, freaks and freethinkers. This is Radio Ghost Town, and I'm your host, Deep Amber, coming to you from the relative safety of an undisclosed location. Tonight, we continue our ongoing series, The Serpent Whispers, investigating and exposing the greatest conspiracy in the history of the world. The 6,000-year-old global death cult is obsessed. There's no denying it. They really want us to think vampires are cool. Of course, consuming human blood is part of their occult ceremonies, and they live in a vampiric state of mind. So maybe they just need us to be desensitized to it. After all, we've been taught to idolize artificial representations of the most transient beauty of all, youth. By the way, have you noticed that anime portrays every single attractive character, even adult men, with the face of a child? It's just an observation. Where were we? Yes. Vampire facials, that's a thing. Young blood is lauded far and wide by scientific journals and nerds on TED Talk as the fountain of youth. Face cream, made out of the foreskins of young boys, is proudly used by stars like the world's highest paid actress of 2010, and was promoted by a certain famous woman talk show host. You know her name, and perhaps you've shopped her annual Thanksgiving list of favorite things. Funny what people will do for the illusion of youth and beauty. An actor from that embarrassing attempt at a goth superhero movie joked about human blood being his secret to seemingly ageless good looks, but he was kidding, right? A celebrity couple admitted to drinking each other's blood, and the internet was abuzz for days about the health risks and romance of the consensually sanguinarian lifestyle. Movies, even children's movies, make light of a sort of spiritual vampirism that draws the life force off of young children to the practitioner. That's not fiction, by the way. It's ritualized sexual abuse, and the people who practice it are the reason God gave us Smith & Wesson. The point is, there are real-world vampires. They are the filthy rich and just plain filthy reprobates hunkered down in odd corners of science, politics, and industry, determined to have their way at whatever the cost, and deny God's right to judge their immortal soul by preemptively selling it to the opposing team. Yes, the vampire trend, like all others of its kind, was manufactured. We were informed of our mutual interest post facto. The scaly hand that waves the orchestral baton of the internet and publishing industries decided it was time for vampires to come into vogue, and so they did. The same was true for witches and warlocks. You're a wizard, Harry. And having made soft cannibalism sexy, the stage is set for the hard stuff to find its fan base. Yes, you heard me. Real-world blood drinking is a cannibalistic act, and just one tiny step away from eating person parts. And person part eating is slated to be the next big thing. The Bible teaches us that the divine spark, which can be infinitely divided yet never diminished, is carried in the red stuff that flows through our veins. In other words, the life of the flesh is in the blood. The Hebrew children were instructed by God to not consume blood at any cost. This, tellingly, is the only dietary restriction carried over into the New Testament for Gentile converts to Christianity. Do not consume blood. Blood is sacred. By extension, human life is sacred. We all knew this once, but the serpent has been hard at work, one degree at a time, teaching us to despise what was made in God's image. Now, human life is treated as essentially valueless. The earth-worshipping green movement sees us all as a blight and a plague upon Mother Gaia. The theory of evolution tells us we're all just animals, and slasher movies and vampire cults all played a role in getting us to where we are today. So did abortion. Especially abortion. Those famous actresses lifting their little golden idols over their heads, So grateful they murdered multiple babies, because if they hadn't, they wouldn't be stars. Disgusting, murderesses, all of them. Baby seals get more sympathy. Desecrated turtle eggs get more indignation. To the serpent, human life has no value. Never forget how deeply he despises you. And to his servants, and the high-level Satanists and Luciferian elite, our lives have no value, but theirs do, and they can and will do anything to stay comfortable, stay young, stay beautiful, no matter what the cost. To us. A very vampiric viewpoint, I think. This links directly to Aleister Crowley. You remember him. He had his own episode, link in the show notes. His ceremonies included not only consuming human blood, but also human feces. Yes. Here we have a man whose lifelong obsession was snacking on turds. One supposes that will be the next king to be glorified in song and story and get his own stripe on the inclusivity flag.
I mean, maybe it's there already. It could be what the brown stripe stands for.
Thank you, Travis. Now, why are we talking about this? Because blood drinking, eating feces, and eating person burgers, they're all, in biblical terms, unclean. Along with all manner of sexual perversion and self-mutilation, they are caused by and food for unclean spirits. These spirits get off on degrading and demeaning humans, and coincidentally, we see all of these unclean acts being glorified by celebrity culture. Weird, isn't it? For example, a certain reality show celebrity famous for her backside made waves earlier this year by saying she would eat poop every day if it would make her look younger. There's that vampire mindset again. It's also interesting because eating wafers made of human excrement is one of the Crowleyite daily practices. It's their version of Holy Communion, but I'm sure that's just a coincidence. The next link in the chain is that same reality show star's ex-husband, a famous and eccentric rapper who, post-divorce, took part in a photo shoot with his new girlfriend. In the photos, new girlfriend is stretched out on a table, clad in what one assumes is a well-tailored hefty bag, and he is standing over her, tucking a napkin under his chin and attacking her midriff with a knife and fork. And he released a gospel album not long ago. Curious. The woman in the hefty bag is Travis insists if I keep calling famous people out by name, we'll get shadow banned or worse, but this is exhausting. I'm trying, Travis. The internet tells me that she was the breakout star of a movie called Uncut Gems, and you can find her that way. Take a look at the company she keeps, then look up her 2017 art installation featuring images of a woman being sacrificed in a variety of gory ways, all painted in her own blood. Frankly, though, as an artist, she wasn't even breaking new ground. Enter the so-called godmother of performance art. Look that up. This occult practitioner, we'll call her M, is the darling of Hollywood elite and career politicians alike. Two of her most famous admirers are the exalted lady of modern popular music and some old hag who was supposed to be our first female president but lost out to Donald Trump. Too bad, so sad. Maybe she should have attended a few more spirit cooking sessions. But seriously, when you do your research, you'll come across a very controversial party, M through, for all the fancy people in Hollywood. The images of human bodies stretched out on cold, hard tables, awash with faux blood, while your children's favorite movie stars stand placidly around them, licking their fingers and scraping the last bits of simulated human off their plates, should give you a moment or two of sober reflection. The internet rushes to inform us that M is a genius. It's not satanic. It's art. You're insane. Just eat the cake. Yes, eat the bugs, eat the turds, eat the person pieces. There's just no satisfying the global death cult, is there? Your browser will tell you, if you ask it, that cannibalism might be taboo now, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, but our ancestors practiced it all the time. Speaking of time, the New York Times has loads of articles on the subject, as do most other online publications, all of which take a positive, if not encouraging, outlook on this, the lowest depths to which a society can sink. Medical News Today hastens to assure the curious that nibbling on their neighbors is no more dangerous than eating the flesh of any other animal, as long as it's cooked full speed ahead. 2 questions. 1, how do they know that? Kuru, a terminal disease brought on by eating human brains, took up to 30 years to manifest in the New Guinea tribe where it was discovered. And 2, did you notice the subtle put down? The insidious insult to our humanity, any other animal. They've been doing that one for well over a century. And the Wikipedia article, by the way, on cannibalism leads with the benefits. The World Economic Forum, for its part, is pretty sure if they can just get us unwashed masses to agree to eat each other, everything will be okay. No more climate change, no more cow burps depleting the ozone, and now you know why they're legislating farmers out of business and burying the cattle industry under taxes and price hikes. Snacking on the fellow next to you is a lot easier to sell in a famine. In fact, a scientist from Stockholm is on record saying that if only we commoners were to awaken to the idea, eating human meat would, wait for it, save the human race. Because climate change, naturally. But wait, it gets better. According to the same guy, not seeing other humans as a food source is linked to selfishness. Yeah, that makes sense, but it must be true, right? A scientist said it. You realize, of course, they've taught us to prostrate ourselves before the non-logic of scientists all our lives. And during the great field test of 2020, we proved to them that we would do so in defiance of reason and even to our own hurt when, faced with the droplets, constant flip-flopping and self-contradictions, we humbly just went along. But back to our Swedish scientist, can you guess his area of expertise? He is a behavioral sciences expert, and he thinks, his word, not mine, we can be tricked into doing the right thing. Oh, and he admits that eating bugs is an important step in the process. Don't let's be tricked, okay, freaks and freethinkers? Let's, you and me, stay human. Everywhere you look, from sexy celebrity photo shoots to respected scientific publications, the consensus is clear. The only real danger of cannibalism is potential criminal prosecution and the social stigma of prejudiced fools. Imagine picking on the poor people eaters. They're only doing their part for the planet. And there it is. They finally did it. They found a way to give victim points to literal cannibals. And victim points are the currency of our time. They drive the younger generation. Victim points are a free pass for any behavior. So, naturally, to get the ball rolling, the time has come to make a movie about it. The official genre is listed as coming-of-age, romantic, cannibal road film, which alone makes my point for me. Granted, it's not the first attempt to make consuming human flesh the focal point of a movie or TV show. It's the one that will stick, though, and I'll tell you why. Because they found their audience. The film is called Bones and All. Watch the trailer if you can stomach it, pardon the pun. It's angsty and romantic, and Lord help us, it's made for teenagers. The people eaters are sympathetic and quirky and just loaded down with victim points. They can't help it because they were born this way. When the boyfriend says he doesn't think he's a bad person, the girl says she doesn't care what he is. She just knows she loves him. Yeah, The same type of folk who watched Twilight and fell rapturously in love with whatever the heck that hungover, pasty-looking, sparkly spectacle was supposed to be will be blown away by sexy young cannibals and loving on the run. How long will it be, freaks and freethinkers, before the generation that gave us furries and people whose pronoun is tree self and obese men in ball gowns winning lesser Miss American beauty pageants against lineups of pretty and actual young girls, and an able-bodied man who identifies as a paraplegic woman? How long before this society is awash with people self-identifying as heroic, planet-saving, #born this way cannibals? You know, that's it. I'm done. Nothing tops that. Just enjoy your holidays, freaks and freethinkers. I'll see you probably come New Year's.
Deep Amber, I think I've got Crazy Carl on the line. He says he has only a minute.
All right, put him through. Crazy Carl, what's new?
It's not new, Amber. It's Universe 25. And they've known about it since the 60s. It might be inevitable for mice, but not for humans. They had to steer us towards it. Manipulate. Control.
Can you speak up, Carl? We have a bad connection.
You're right about everything. Massive psyop. Operation Mockingbird was the trigger, but Monarch was the bullet.
Did you say Operation Monarch?
People aren't losing their humanity. It's being stolen. Scientists play their part, but they aren't in control. They never were. The Nazis brought it with them after the war. We gave them power. Government agencies gave them power over us. Which was the beginning of the end. We're not even us anymore.
Carl, I'm not getting everything you're saying. There's interference on the line. Could we... I know this is a big ask, Carl, but could we meet in person maybe after New Year's?
I can't afford to be recognized.
We'd protect your identity. You have my word, Carl. Carl? Are you still there?
I'm here. Okay. It's worth the risk to get the message out. I'll be in touch. Crazy Carl out.
Well, just when you think things can't get any more interesting. But now, for the record. Satan is alive and active in the world today. He is your mortal enemy with just one goal, to destroy you, body and soul. But the good news is, we have a champion. His name is Jesus. Jesus is the only way to God, and the Bible is our only source for absolute truth. Together, they're our only hope for salvation. I'm Deep Amber, and this is Radio Ghost Town. Travis.
Thanks for watching. At Fly By Light Media, we choose freedom over comfort and truth over popularity. We hope you will too.
And you can buy FBLM tees and hoodies just like this one in the link in the description below. And be sure to watch more videos.
Together
we
are Fly By Light Media, and we rise to shine.